Our story begins at Team Rick HQ, where we see what appears to be a sick Kuzco lying in bed, when Yumi is seen coming into the room, holding what appears to be an old Western movie Sims had given her.
Hey Kuzco, I heard from Melina that you were sick, so I came to cheer you up by bringing you one of my favorite old Western movies called Legend of the Masked Yumi.
Legend of the Masked Yumi, huh? Well, at least it's better than that stupid History of Apes book Sims was reading to me. We then zoom into the movie as it shows the title, Legend of the Masked Yumi, and we see what appears to be an old Western town as we hear Chef Hootie doing a Sam Elliott type narration.
Now let me tell you a story about a town that stank of crime that was going down. But little did these humble little hoot folk know that they were going to get the hero that they needed. But this wasn't just any hero, no sir. This was a hero known as the Masked Yumi.
It shows a small western town as the Hoots go about their daily lives, as it shows the town sign, Hoot Town.
Welcome to Hoot Town, a town of humble hooties, just trying to make it day by day. From the humble bar owner to the humble blacksmith, even the humble party organizer that doubles as my deputy.
It shows Party in his deputy outfit, waving at Sheriff Hootie.
He may look, okay, so he may be a few cards short of a full deck, but he's as humble as the rest. And then there's yours, Hootie. I'm just a hoot trying to keep this little slice of hoot safe from the varmints of the wild, wild west. But let's get this story started. When this humble town of hoots needed more than just a hootin' tootin' Sheriff Hoots, but a hero. A hero that wore a mask.
We fade to the town of Hoot Town, when the crime was out of control. Bandits ran amok, and the Hoot folk terrorized by their leader, Zappy the Kid, a mean outlaw that used their unnatural zapping powers to shock the poor Hoot folk as they made off with the town's hard-earned money. But just as the Hoot folk thought no one could help, a lone hero would answer the call. It cut back to Sheriff Hootie reading the story.
Well, not literally, I mean like a metaphor for answering the call. Anyways,
Yumi arrived to the town looking around, feeling that there's crime happening.
There's crime going on here, I can feel it.
The Masked Yumi said as she walked down the street, when two bandits walked out disguised as Hoot folk.
Well, hello there. We were just attacked by some bandits, but we were able to drive them away. We could use some charity if you find it in your hearts to contribute.
Yumi looks around, not liking the vibes of these two, when her eyes caught a few Hoots tied in the saloon. The two bandits tried pulling their Zap revolvers, but Yumi was faster with the draw, taking them both down in the blink of an eye with her trusty black revolver, Skull Crusher. Yumi looked around for her sidekick.
Kuzco! Kuzco!
She looked around annoyed when a voice called out from behind the building. It's the Lone Emperor! I told you it's the Lone Emperor! Yumi sighed before looking back where Kuzco was.
Lone Emperor, the coast is clear!
Kuzco walked out wearing a western outfit and a black mask similar to Yumi's. They go to the saloon and untie the Hoots tied up. Thanks for saving us, masked stranger. They thought two of them could keep the town secure for Zappy the Kid. But now that you took them out, I can untie the others while you go for Chef Hootie's. He's been trying to get a hold of someone to help us fight off Zappy's gang. So he's been locked in his office and hasn't been trying to fight them off? Just then they see a Hoots tied to the wagon wheel chandelier above them. It was Deputy Hoots. For your information, we did try to fight them off, and we got a few of them, but the numbers were too great, and, well, this happened. The Lone Emperor recognized the deputy. Hey, Party! Kuzco waved as Deputy said hello. Come on, let's get the Sheriff Hootie, so we can form a plan to get Zappy the Kid and free this town. Oh, we should probably untie Deputy Hoots first, Yumi said as they go to untie the deputy. They arrive outside the sheriff's office. The door was barred from entry. Sheriff Hootie, Can you hear me? We need your help! The sheriff looks out from the barred window.
You need my help? I need help finding a weapon that's immune to being zapped. And, well, a metal gun is kinda metal. So every time I shot at Zappy the Kid, she would stop the bullets and send them back at us while yanking the guns out of my hand or wing. I mean, she gives them back, but still.
He thinks for a minute before continuing.
There's a blacksmith in town. Maybe he'll know the trick to take on the Zappy varmint.
Sheriff Hooty said, retreating back inside the fortified sheriff's office. Yumi and Cusco ride to the blacksmith's, and they see her. Yumi, what are you doing here? Father looks at Sims.
How do you know about Masked Yumi?
Word travels fast in the small town of Hoot Town. Father sighs before walking up to Yumi and Cusco.
Well, we're looking for some firepower, Pilgrim, and bring Zappy the Kid to justice, and bring justice to the Hoots of Hoot Town, Pilgrim.
Yumi said, doing her best John Wayne impression. Good John Wayne impression. Sims complimented. Father isn't impressed.
Meh, I'm more of a Clint Eastwood man. What? He doesn't talk, he shoots. If I wanted to, I'd take these rubber-lined guns and rubber bullets that I made in case someone would-be hero wanted to put an end to all this Zappy madness. Can have a fighting chance against the bandit leader. I'd march up to her and ask, "You feeling lucky, punk?" Well, do ya? But alas, I'm needed here. That and I'm literally shackled here,
Father said. Those bandit fiends, they chained you to your forge, Father? Sims, we'll be those heroes. Give us the rubber guns, Yumi said after Cusco gave her a look after she said owl. Sims hands her the guns and leans in to tell her something without Father hearing. Just so you know, Father did that to himself. He wanted to test the strength of his shackles when he took down the bandits, then bring them to Chef Hooty, but he forgot to make a key. And a keyhole. Sims says his father crossed his arms.
Well, excuse me for forgetting to add one.
Just then the shackle gets shot and breaks. They follow where the bullet came from when there's a silhouette of an owl in the swinging doors. It's revealed to be Sheriff Hooty, with the accompanying spaghetti western intro with a whip sound.
Well then, it looks like we got everything we need. Now we just need some armor that's zap-proof, and the town of Hoot Town will be behind you, Masked Yumi.
He sees Cusco's annoyed face.
And the Lone Emperor,
he added, nodding to make Cusco feel better. Father, now free, goes to grab the armor and one more thing.
Before we go, I think you could use this. I made this revolver that looks exactly like your Black Skull revolver. Wow, now ain't that a coinky-dink?
Father pauses as if waiting for a laugh track, as Yumi slowly took the revolver. Meanwhile, at Zappy the Kid's hideout, Zappy the Kid is busy mapping out her future plans for changing Hoot Town into Zap Town and making her the new mayor. While outside, the Masked Yumi and the Lone Emperor, with the help of Sheriff Hooty and the Hoot folk of Hoot Town, gather to storm the hideout. Masked Yumi makes a plan to storm the gate into Zappy's hideout when Saloon Hoots brings in a giant catapult with a giant rubber ball. Sims and Father followed behind. I know how to get in. He tells Sims and Father where to place the catapult before running to the hill, separating them from the hideout, popping his head up. Hey, Zappy! Knock, knock! The window opens and Zappy the Kid yells,
Who's there?
Zappy asked as Saloon Hoots yells, Rubber ball! Just then a massive rubber ball flies over the hill and smashes through the gate, knocking out Zappy's gang. Yumi, Cusco, and the Hoot folk march in the hideout, demanding that Zappy the Kid faces justice for her crimes, them all aiming their new zap-resistant weapons at her as she laughs, not aware of the change.
You think you could have me with those weapons? Didn't you learn anything from last time?
She laughed as she moved her hands to them, trying to take their weapons away, but nothing happened.
What's the matter? You ran out of batteries?
He aims his new zap-resistant revolver, Lawlin Hootie, at Zappy the Kid.
Take her down, Hoot folk!
Zappy the Kid lets out a
Ah, shit!
when she's shot up by the entire Hoot folk in a hail of rubber bullets. As Yumi stops them. Wait! She needs to answer for her crimes! She aims her revolver at Zappy the Kid.
Ah, you'll never beat me! Ow! I'm not done yet! Ow! Ow!
Zappy said, grabbing her Zappy revolver, the last zap. Zappy and Yumi have a standoff as Deputy Hoots walks in, playing a guitar, singing about what's going on. The showdown of Masked Yumi and Zappy. Who will win? And who will make it out alive? Yeah! Ksh! Yeah! Ksh! Deputy snaps a whip, yelling, yeah! With each snap like the song Rawhide. Sheriff Hootie walks up to him.
What are you doing, Deputy?
Deputy Hoots looks around. I'm adding some music for dramatic tension. You know, like on spaghetti westerns. Deputy Hoots nods.
We're not doing that. Get back with the others. And put that guitar up. You're embarrassing me, Deputy.
Deputy Hoots walks off screen with the guitar and can be heard.
Why didn't no one tell me how we were doing the dramatic song anymore? What do you mean it was last second? I look like a fool!
Deputy Hoots returned. Okay, I'm back. You can commence with the showdown, Masked Yumi. It cuts back to Masked Yumi. Thank you. She stares at Zappy the Kid intensely as they both ready to shoot their guns at each other. We see everyone hold their breath as Masked Yumi and Zappy the Kid grab their guns and shoot. Zappy's lightning bullet just misses Yumi's head as Yumi's skull bullet hits Zappy's forehead, sending her falling back to the ground, knocked out. Yumi puts her in cuffs.
Good job, Masked Yumi. You took care of Zappy the Kid and her gang of Zappy bandits.
Now, where are you gonna take her? Sheriff Hootie asks. She's going to Team Rick HQ for a long time. What are you gonna do with her gang? Masked Yumi asked. Oh, they're getting the chair.
Yeah, dead! Get the Zappy chairs ready!
Deputy Hoots yelled.
We're using your weapons to make the electric chairs to get them all at once!
Yeah, that's right.
You'll get the Zappy this time!
He yelled at Zappy the Kid's gang as they're headed to the chairs. The lone emperor looks horrified as Masked Yumi pats him on the shoulder.
Don't worry about it. Let's get back to Team Rick HQ and have some grub.
Yumi said as they leave Zappy's headquarters, taking Zappy into custody as the sounds of Zappy's gangs getting electrocuted can be heard, the Hoot folk cheering as it returns to Sheriff Hootie closing the book.
Well, that was the end. And don't worry about Zappy's gang. They deserved it. Take over my town, will ya? You get the chair! Anyways, that's the story. You all have a good night now, and thank you for listening to the tale of the Masked Yumi.
It shows that Sheriff Hootie was reading a story to Deputy Hoots, who's sleeping now. Sheriff Hootie walks off screen, leaving the lamp on as the episode ends.